Ladies and gentlemen, beating a dead horse, the old 79 GMC C35 is back on the channel. Today I'm going to do a cost breakdown of what it took to rebuild this big block, how much I think you could save if you did it on your own, and then what we got planned for this truck coming up, because it's got some factory weight reduction. Gosh. So we'll break it up for you guys and gals in a couple different sections. I know that some of y'all like to jump around. You don't like to listen to stuff you've already heard before. So we're gonna do a quick build recap, the cost breakdown, setbacks, final cost, and what we have planned for the channel. Now, if you guys and gals remember, we took this truck to C10 Fall Revival in North Carolina last year. It did great on the 500-mile drive up from Daytona Beach, Florida. And then on the way home, we started knocking real bad.
Dude, any second, this thing is gonna explode.
Not actually explode, right?
Not like back at us, but on the side, yeah.
We actually broke down really close to Steve Graham's house, who runs Piedmont Traction. Super nice guy, and he was very hospitable. Let me store this truck at his place for a couple of months. Came back to Florida. Me and my dad found a big block over in Tampa, so we drove 3 hours to pick up a Facebook Marketplace motor, drove home, got it ready, and then shot the 500 miles up to North Carolina to save the dually. Well, we ended up getting there late because my GMC Safari van, well, it ate another alternator on the road, and we had to swap that out. And then once we got to Steve's house, we basically got right to work at 9 p.m. and we worked well into the night to get this thing swapped over. We busted our butts all day Saturday to get it done. We got it fired up, and right before we called it a day, that motor started knocking.
Rod knock. Yep.
So we took our loss, we drove back to Florida, and actually had the truck towed back to my house by Terry Borse, and it just sat because I just had too much going on at the channel. Wasn't expecting to rebuild a motor. I had to get some machine work done, and it just wasn't in the cards. Now, fast forward 6 months, and I finally got the job done. I'm also really glad I waited because I'm now in this new shop space, which actually is a lot bigger, and I had the space to work on this massive crew cab dually. Now, to get into the cost of doing this rebuild, anytime you do a motor rebuild, you're gonna have some level of machine work, whether you're doing it yourself or you're taking it to a machine shop. Now, I'm lucky enough to have an old school machinist in town. His name's also Terry, and he does some really great work. So I stripped the whole motor down, and I took the bare block and bare heads over to Terry, and he found some pitting in the cylinders, so he bored it 30 over. He found some damage in one of the valves and had to drill out a couple of valves. Ended up reseating all the valves so they're nice and tight, and then he also pressed on my new pistons for me on the original connecting rods. He found 2 of those connecting rods were bad and gave me 2 on the house, which was super nice, and ended up just doing a deep clean on the block and getting everything ready for assembly. Now, all that machine work only cost me $400, and that's because when I went to Terry, I said 2 things. 1, I don't want you to assemble this. I want to assemble it. So he's like, heck yeah, man, I'll do that. And 2, I told him this is not a rush because I don't have the space to work on this thing right now. So when he had free time, he did some work to it and got it done. He said, hey man, it's done, come pick up your stuff. Now, once Terry was done, I started looking at what I really needed for this motor, and I had to get a crankshaft because mine was smoked. It was beyond repair. I got my list of parts here. So with the new crankshaft, I actually got a new cam. It is a little bit bigger than a stock cam, but it's nothing crazy. I just wanted a little bit more power out of the motor. That's a flat tappet cam, so I got flat tappet lifters. And I also ordered a full gasket kit, new bearings, timing set, oil pump, pistons and piston rings, obviously. And then we got a freeze plug kit. So all of that came in at $1,254. I ordered it all from Summit Racing and had it in a couple of days. Now, with me knowing the motor was coming out of the truck and I had this block cleaned and ready to go, I decided to throw some paint on her. I actually painted the firewall, painted the wheel wells, which you can't really tell because I've been crawling all over them, and painted the inner fenders. And while I was doing all that, I also painted all the covers for the motor, which these are the original covers, and I painted the block itself and the air cleaner. So while this isn't a show quality engine bay, it actually looks a lot better than it did. So with the paint, I actually had some on the shelf, and I had to get the color matched paint for the firewall and the engine, and that paint and primer ended up costing me about 52 bucks. So we had to get a bunch of fluid. Now keep in mind, we had the flat tappet cam in here, so we got to do a break-in, drain the oil, refill it. So I had to get 2 oil filters. I had to get oil for enough for 2 oil changes. We had to get power steering fluid. We had to get coolant. We had to basically get everything that we needed to get this motor back up and running. Well, I went to Tractor Supply Company and I found they had cheap oil filters and cheap oil. They had a 5-gallon pail of diesel conventional 1540 motor oil for 65 bucks. So I got that. There's my 2 oil changes and 1 of my filters. I also went to the parts store and got some zinc additive, the ZDDP additive, which is really important for breaking in these flat tappet cams, and a nice extreme performance oil filter. I also got some other stuff like assembly lube and other things to help with the assembly process, but the only other thing I had to get was power steering fluid and coolant, and all of that came in at a whopping $162. Now the last category is specialty tools. I basically had all the tools I needed to get this done except for a 30 over piston ring compressor. So I bought this bad boy from Summit Racing, and I also got some of that plastic gauge from the parts store. Both of those parts ran me 33 bucks. Now if you're good at mathing, that comes in at $1,901 to pull this motor, rebuild it, put it back in, and have it looking newish. But I think you can do it cheaper, and here's why. You see, on this truck, I had to go 30 over on the block, so I had to get new pistons, I had to get a new crank, and I had to get a new camshaft because of how much material went through this entire motor. Now, I did reuse parts like the rocker arms, the valve springs, most of the valves, the connecting rods. But because of those huge items I had to purchase, I was not able to save that much money on this rebuild. Now, if you go look at the parts list, if you didn't have to get a new crank for $365, a new cam for $236, lifters for $127, and pistons, well, this is also a ring kit, but let's say it's $200 for the pistons. That rebuild would only cost $973. So it's really important to know exactly what condition everything's in to determine how much it's gonna cost to rebuild that motor. Now, if we wander on over here, this is that Facebook motor we got for the motor swap in North Carolina. And if you look down in there, it really doesn't look too bad. I know it's really hard to see, but it's in pretty good shape. And it's not really knocking that bad, so I don't think the crank's bad. And not a lot of material has gone through the motor. And it's probably gonna be a pretty cheap rebuild. So I think I'm gonna take that motor and try to build it for as cheap as I can. Let me know in the comments below if that's something that you wanna see. So another thing you guys and gals might be wondering is how long would it take you to do something like this? Now, I did have some setbacks. I ordered the big order I had come in from Summit Racing. The box ended up getting a tear in it, and we had a lifter that fell out, so I had to order a new lifter. I actually misplaced my piston rings when I ordered the pistons 6 months ago, and I had to order new ones, so I had to wait for that. Those 2 setbacks cost me 2 days, but I was able to get all of this done within a 7-day period like I was hoping. And when I say 7 days, I mean like 7 days of actually working on it, not 7 consecutive days. But that's also with me coming through and doing the paint work and taking my time with the motor build, because keep in mind, I want this truck to be my daily driver, so I didn't want to just slap a motor together and just be all willy-nilly with my clearances and tolerances. I think if I had every single part ready to go, I had the motor already out, worked, everything, I could do this swap in 5 days. That's pulling the motor, rebuilding it, putting it back in, all that stuff. I think a week should do it. Now, if you're a weekend warrior, let's call that a month. That's 4 weekends of just getting this thing pulled out, worked. And you know what? If you work a little bit on your motor rebuild through the week, it actually goes pretty quick because a lot of rebuilding a motor is very repetitive. You got to think, if you're putting your piston rings on, you got to do 8 sets of piston rings, and you got to put in 8 pistons, and then you got to torque down, 16 piston or connecting rod caps, and it's just very, very repetitive. And you get into valve works, you got 16 valves you got to work with. Of course, this is all assuming you're working on a V8 engine, which if you're watching this channel, that's what I'm assuming you're working on. But if you come home every day from work and do a little bit to your motor, you could actually have this built in a relatively short amount of time. So again, it was $1,901 for me to rebuild this. Do I think that was worth it? Yeah, absolutely. 100% think it's worth it. This truck is running so good now. I have so much confidence in this thing. If you're gonna replace this motor from, let's say, Summit Racing, and you order just a cheap long block, that long block's gonna cost you $3,300. If you go on Facebook Marketplace like we did and find a deal for $500, well, that $500 really isn't $500. That probably cost me more money than it did to just do this motor rebuild. Because keep in mind, we got that motor, we drove all the way to North Carolina, we spent 3 days up there doing the motor swap, only to come home, and then I still had to have the truck shipped home. Another option, if you are having motor issues, is to get a bare block or a cheap block off of Marketplace. That is probably the best bet. I did want to keep this motor in the truck though, because it was the original motor to the truck, and I don't know, I kind of like having the original big block and turbo 400 in this beast. And if you're looking at a fully dressed motor, I mean, dude, you're spending $8,000 on a freaking motor for your truck. And when you got something that's only worth, you know, a couple $1,000 without a motor, that's not a real good investment. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about how I plan to waste more money on this truck. Now, like I said before, we got the factory weight reduction right here. AMD makes a replacement panel where you can actually come in and weld in a brand new windshield piece. They also have windshields, so we're going to be doing a new windshield panel, a new windshield, as well as rockers, probably cab corners. I'm going to come in here, do the rust repair on some roof areas and on the fenders. Once we get the rust repair done, we'll do some touch-up paint and make her solid. Once that's done, I want to get this AC running, because this is a factory AC truck and we have most of our components here. When I took the grill off, it looked like the condenser took a really brutal hit. So I'm assuming we'll probably have to replace the condenser, and I'll probably end up replacing the entire AC system. Now, to fund all of these things, I may have to sell my van, because oh man, I really like driving the van, but this is gonna be a very expensive build. Another thing I've been considering is doing a fuel injection system and then swapping out the Turbo 400 for a 4L80. Now, this big block with fuel injection and a transmission with overdrive would make this drive like a dream. The truck already drives really nice. It feels very tight. It has Bell-Tech suspension on it. It's not a huge drop, it just got it down a little bit. But if this had overdrive with AC, I think this would be a very, very comfortable truck. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the moral of the story and the point I'm trying to make with this video is that rebuilding your motor doesn't have to be super, super expensive. And also, it is not a very difficult process. Now, if you have all the tools and you have everything at your disposal, like the space to work on it and all that stuff, it's a lot easier. But if you're rebuilding this thing on, like, let's say your patio or in your kitchen, it might be a little bit more difficult. But I'm also saying this to say that if you find a really cool vehicle or project and it has some questionable noises coming out of the motor, don't be afraid to buy that sucker. Take a peek at what it takes to rebuild that motor and consider just bringing it on, getting a project for a deal, and then doing the motor rebuild. Also, it really helps when you buy cheap stuff so that it's not like a high stakes motor rebuild, especially if it's your first one. Anyway, guys and gals, that's gonna do it for me on this video. As always, I appreciate y'all hanging around and watching these videos. See you in the next one.